Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Shoot the 60. Today we discussed the story of Patty Hearst, who was kidnapped by a revolutionary radical group. And after she was kidnapped, she decided to commit crimes with this same group. So me and Zah decide if she was a victim, a villain, or a victim and villain. Make sure you tune in for this week's episode. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Shoot the 60 podcast. It's Mo.
It's I.
And we're back. So today, I got something crazy for you.
You know, that tone is actually all right. You're doing all right over there.
Thank you. So, I was actually telling my dad this the other day.
What's
I
up?
said, you know, in another life, I would have been a singer.
Oh, I say that every day. And guess what? If I was a singer, I wouldn't shut the fuck up.
You know what's missing? You know why we not singers?
Because we wasn't childhood stars.
No.
No.
Because we wasn't on the church choir.
Well, I was in church choir. Dead ass. I was.
Really?
Yeah, when like my parents were like really into church. I was in choir and I was on the dance team too.
Why everybody parent had a
I
point
going
when
in.
they really
I'm really heavy involved in church phase. Like, what was that about?
and then just stop going.
And then just stopped going. Yes, I remember
Coolness.
that. Really.
But guys, today I have a story for you and you.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking about Patty Hearst. Have you ever heard of Patty Hearst?
No, I'm not familiar with her.
So Patty Hearst is a white woman. She's still alive, but basically, she was kidnapped by this group, and later she started to commit crimes with this group. So the whole controversy of surrounding her is if she's a victim, a villain, or both.
Ooh, I like this.
So, and I can't wait till the end because I really want to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
And I'll tell you my thoughts.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let me
right.
know who the Miss Patty is.
So, just a little background on her. She comes from money. And when I say money, I mean money. So, her grandfather was actually responsible for developing the nation's largest newspaper chain and media company.
Oh, cool.
It's called Hearst Communications. And his family had money from mining. So she just come from money.
Oh, gotcha.
Like so much money, they have a castle in California.
Oh, that's cool.
They have money. Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
So we are in the year of 1974, and at this point, Patty was in college. She was going to Berkeley. She was 19, going on 20, and she was living with her fiance. His name was Steven.
Okay.
So
Okay.
her life she was just chilling.
Yeah.
So on February 4th, 1974. She was at home with her fiance, and she hears a knock at the door.
Okay.
And a woman is like, "Oh my God, I got into a car accident. Like, I need help."
Okay.
And before the fiance can respond, two men bust up in there and they grab Patty.
No.
I spilled my coffee. Sorry, but they bust up in there, they grab Patty.
No.
And they leave. So who kidnapped Patty? It was a group by the name of the. I don't want to butcher the name. Symbionese? I think it's Symbionese Liberation Army, I believe it's what's called.
Okay.
Symbionese Liberation Army. So they kidnapped her. And what were their values? So their values were pretty, good. So they were anti-racist.
Wait. They kidnapped someone, but they had good means.
They did. So, okay.
Sure.
So their values, they were feminists, they were anti-racist and anti-capitalistic.
Okay.
And they wanted all races and genders to fight together against the man.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that's
It
quite
sounds
positive.
pretty good, right? It sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, can I touch on the busting through the door? So, hubby was home, or fiance was home, and they just quickly bum rushed, got her ass out of there, and they was out of there.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
That's fucked up. And shame on you, hubby, for not fighting that shit off.
He tried. They whipped his ass a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah, they whipped his ass a little
Oh, that's fucked
bit. And
up.
I'm sorry, they were armed. I didn't.
Ooh.
said
Okay,
that.
never mind. You
Yeah,
got her.
they were
Go ahead,
armed.
you got it. Oh, damn.
But they busted and they took Patty away.
Damn. Okay, so this decent group came and got her.
Well, they were actually, the group is pretty not decent. So the thing about this group, they were all of these things. Like I told you their values, right?
Yes.
Ever at the time, they were feared because prior to them kidnapping Patty, they did kill somebody unprovoked.
Oh,
Yeah. And like they were denounced by like political groups like the Panthers, like other political groups was like, nah, y'all just doing shit that don't make sense. The person they killed was he was like the superintendent of schools, and he was about to implement a policy where like students had to have a certain identification card or them or something like that, and then he also wanted to increase the police presence in the schools.
Okay.
And the group was like, we don't like this, we're gonna kill him. So that doesn't make sense.
That does not.
It's like they almost had it, but they didn't. So
yeah, that's like your values, cool. Like that is definitely kind of universal what people, decent people stand for.
But the
actions are not reciprocating your values. That's quite unfortunate.
Exactly.
That's quite unfortunate.
You were almost there. Excuse me. But yeah, so they kidnapped Patty, and the main reason they kidnapped her is because the guy that was killed, 2 people who was within the group were being charged for his murder. So they kidnapped Patty to try to make an exchange.
Well, how would Patty correlate in the exchange? She knew the superintendent?
No. So like Patty was this rich white girl.
Damn.
So they took her and they was like, we can use her to like get our friends back who are under arrest.
I would have been mad as fuck because I'm like, I'm not the only rich white bitch in fucking California. It's still another bitch. Like,
but she was also in close proximity. And honestly, it was just like
it was. She was just the best.
You read your family owned the media, and you like 15 minutes away. Fuck it. So yeah.
Look, this will get our friends out of jail. No, nigga.
Exactly. So they took her to their spot where they were staying at, and they blindfolded her and put her in the closet. So they realized, that maybe we're not going to be able to trade her for our friends who are in jail for murder.
When did we get to that conclusion?
Yeah, they realized that wouldn't make sense. So they decided to negotiate for Patty's family to pay for food for the poor and needy. So basically, what they did is they would communicate through the Why are you laughing?
Give us your daughter back. We'll give you your daughter back if you give me food for money and shit. Like
for the needy.
Yes, for the needy, but I just feel like have a purpose. Like I feel like there was better.
No, they definitely didn't have they didn't have.
I'm sorry,
any type of game plan.
Like,
everything was like off the fly.
I'm just like, you're gonna fucking put a gun to my head if my parents will give you money for the unfortunate. What the fuck are we doing? But
so the way they communicated this, like most ransoms, they'll like call on the phone and be like, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
No, they communicated through the media. So they would send tapes through the media, and through these tapes, it would be Patty talking. They would also use this to show proof of life. So it's tapes where Patty was like, hey, mom and dad, like, I'm chilling. They want you to do X, Y, and Z. So the first request was they wanted $70 worth of food to be given to every poor person in California for 4 weeks. Now, it's a lot of people in California.
I thought homeless rate is extremely high in California.
For 4 weeks, you're looking at maybe million, maybe $1 billion.
And we're talking about the whole state of California.
Yeah, we're talking about the whole state of California. So Patty's dad, his name was Randy Hearst. He was like, the most that I can do is $2 million. And something that they didn't know, that the SLA, the Symbionese Liberation Army, I'm gonna call them SLA from now on.
Thank you.
So something they didn't know was Randy didn't really have access to his family's money.
Oh.
So remember I said the grandpa is the one who built the whole empire, right? But the way he set up his company, he set it up as to the board. He has a board.
Of course.
The board has to
sign off on
of course.
A certain amount of money. You can't just dip into the fund.
So the board, they only gave him $1.5 million.
Damn.
And Randy took $500,000 of his own money, but he really didn't have, that's pretty much all he had.
Exactly.
So they gave $2 million. They created a foundation called People in Need, and it was this food drive that they put on for poor people, obviously. Cool. But it resulted in chaos and riots, and they was throwing food off a truck, and people was fighting. It was really bad.
Do you know what city specifically these were? There was these. I
believe it was Sacramento.
Sacramento. Okay. I don't know much about Sacramento.
It was either Sacramento or San Francisco.
Gotcha.
Don't beat me up, but it was either one.
Okay.
But the SLA was like, okay, cool. But so you need to spend another $4 million on food and do it again. And at this point, Randy was like, I literally can't.
I don't have it.
Like, I don't do it. So Patty, mind you, I just want everybody to keep in mind, Patty is 19 going on 20.
Ooh.
So she's a baby.
She's a baby.
And she didn't really know, like, the specifics of, like, how the financial workings worked with her family. So she thought, like, her dad had the money.
Just had $4,000 sitting around?
Yeah. So she was pissed. She was like...
Really, Dad? Really, Dad?
She was really upset. And as she's doing these recordings, like, through the media, you could hear her mad, like, I know you guys are doing everything you can, but, like, come on.
Yeah,
like, type shit, right? So as time goes on, and she's with the SLA, she tells them that she wants to stay. That she wants to stay with them.
Wrong.
Right.
But put the fucking Scooby-Doo.
She tells them that she wants to stay with them. So because at some point, they get to a point, and I'm sorry, maybe I should have been more specific. So as she's being held captive, she's either blindfolded so she doesn't see their face.
Okay.
Or when she isn't blindfolded, they have masks on.
Okay.
So typically, if you know, like, crime, when people wear masks, a good sense of that you won't be killed is that you don't see their face. Like, that's how you'll pretty much know, like, all right, I never see their face, I'm good.
Gotcha.
So up to this point, she doesn't know who they are. So in their case, they was like, oh, we're going to give you back. Like, we're not keeping you forever. We're going to give you back.
Got you. Now, I know the first ransom was 4 weeks. So she has been with them going on past a month.
So at this point, she's with them for about 50 days. So what's that, 2 months?
Okay, and then hold on. Circle back to the fiance. What this nigga doing? He looking for his girl? Or he know?
He just like, I mean, it's only so much he can do. The FBI are working to try to find her.
Wow.
But it's only so much. He was like a teacher.
So wait.
He can do shit.
Wait, they must have been decent kidnappers to one, hold her for a decent amount of time and then put out videos of her.
Not videos.
I mean,
just audio.
Audio of proof of being alive, and then like the FBI not being able to find her in that moment in time. They must be decent kidnappers. I don't know. That's what I'm just trying to process, because I'm like,
I think what it really was is they were really small. So it was only 8 of them. Like, it was only 8 of them.
Like
it was
a fucking sports team?
Yeah.
Like, what
it was 8 of them, 3 men, 5 women.
What?
And these consisted...
Wait a minute. 5
and only 1 black person.
Whoa, I wish I knew the demographics from the beginning.
It was
That's
a black
fucking
man.
Hilarious.
Sorry.
I just wish wait, 5 women. And who was these niggas? Wait, what? I have questions.
So, do you want me to answer now at the end? Or you want me to answer it as I go through?
As you go through.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
So you were saying that she ended up wanting to join the crew.
Yeah, she ended up wanting to stay with them because through her time there, of course, they're talking to her. And she's learning about what they're doing and everything. And, you know, when all this she was going through with her parents, she was like, yeah, I just want to stay. So they told her.
What about Berkeley?
Right.
What about your education? What about your husband?
So they told her, they said, look, if you want to stay, you can stay. But it's up to you. Like, you can leave. We will let you go.
When did we get to negotiating? Nigga, you kidnapped me. I'm confused.
Yeah,
how did we get to that? What? Okay.
And so then on April 3rd, 1974, another tape comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what Patty says.
Oh, wait. So we from February to April.
Yes.
Gotcha.
This is what Patty says. I have been given the choice of 1, being released in a safe area, or 2, joining the forces of the SLA and fighting for my freedom and the freedom of all oppressed people. I have chosen to stay and fight.
Girl.
She said this out her mouth. So people are assuming like, oh, she's been brainwashed.
Obviously.
And she also said that her new name was Tanya. And I'm going to show, and this picture was released. We're going to make sure it pops up.
Bad bitch. She said, you know what? Oh, I like the bob. Yeah, I like that bob.
It's not a bob.
Let me see.
It's not Bobby.
Oh, it's not a bob.
It's not a bob. It's giving like layers, maybe.
It's giving it's actually that time period layers. That's not '90s, but time period layers.
So at this point, her family is making public statements. They're like, she's brainwashed. Yes. Like, she's not really joining this revolutionary group to try to do the things and all of that. And she was like, okay, you don't think I'm really joining?
What? Tanya. Tanya, what you doing, girl?
So on April 15th, 1974, the SLA, they say, okay, we are going to rob a bank because they need money. They don't go to work anymore. They need money. So they robbed the San Francisco's Hibernia Bank, and they get about $10,000. They chose this bank specifically because, like I said, it's 1974. Video cameras in banks are fairly new. So they chose this one because they wanted cameras to show that Patty was robbing it on her own volition. Nobody was making her do anything. There's not a gun to her head. So there's video footage of Patty like.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
My favorite kind of crime, like top 3, is a bank robbery.
Really?
Yes. I think that's cool as shit.
Told me that, but it's,
bank robbery. No, I only say that because they're so out in the open. Like, you know, you've been to a bank a million times and you're just looking around and it's just like, yo, somebody robbed this shit. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, what the I feel like that is the boldest. That's like top 3 boldest robbery you can do.
And it's funny because have you ever watched Money Heist?
A little bit of it. I do know the premise of it, but yeah.
So good. But
they were robbing banks.
They robbed like the National Bank of like Spain or some shit. It was so good. But I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna do a little
interesting. No, like so that's actually kind of cool. That's a cool way to show like, bitch, this is me. Like I'm doing this. So she was caught on camera.
And
with the gun, doing everything.
Yep. Witness said that she was very enthusiastic. She was like, get the fuck on the ground. Like,
oh, she was like
nobody. She wasn't like,
fuck my education and my man, bitch.
She wasn't like, get on the ground.
No,
like, she was like, get the fuck.
Oh, yeah. And I think, you know what my favorite thing is too? When they start shooting up, this is a bank robbery. I mean, like, oh, shit. It's crazy. But continue.
But yeah, so they do this bank robbery. They get away with it. They get about $10,000 and they divvy it up between each other.
So now it's 9 of them.
Yes, it is 9 of them now.
$10,000 between 9 people?
It's not a lot of money.
You dumbass.
It's not a lot of money.
I was thinking 10,000 wasn't a lot anyways. I'm like, you only got 10,000?
Well, back then,
I mean, yeah.
We in the 70s.
Actually, yes. A few $1,000s is probably great money.
Is our producer busy? What you doing? Can you look up $1,000 in 1974?
What does that equate of like wealth? I would like to know.
I'm thinking maybe 3,000
now. I could use 3,000 right now. Shit, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
But it's not a steady income.
No,
that's the only thing. And they got to get supplies. They also have to get cars because they would buy cars like cash or they would steal them.
And their reason for stealing the money, robbing the bank was to thus give that money back to the community.
They just needed money to survive. Like, I want everybody to take yourself out of 2024. Take yourself out of 2024. It's 1974. Yeah. Like, there's no internet. Like, they have debit cards. Do they have debit cards?
I think
they have debit cards, but people are paying in cash. There's not a lot of paper trails. Like, you can.
I think credit cards are more important, more popular than debit cards. I think.
No, right? Credit cards wasn't until what, the 90s.
Oh, so then okay, never mind.
You want to put in guess on how much it would be?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
3.
2.
Almost $8,000.
1,000.
Yes.
Bitch, you was rich. Hold on, I take everything I've said back.
Yeah.
Hold on, bitch, they was rich.
Can you look up?
$7,998.09 equivalent today.
Damn. Can you look up when debit cards were a thing?
Yes. Cause hold on, $8,000.
That's a lot of money.
Bitch, we should get a group of 9 people robbing. Well, no, not in this day.
First of all, bitch, you just admitted it on a podcast. Okay. Hurry up.
1966. They had debit cards.
Oh, they had debit cards.
Okay, so that was the thing. Okay.
So after
she showed her face, all that kind of stuff.
They robbed the bank.
Wait, I have a question. Was the video broadcast like on the news?
Yes, everybody saw it. So
Damn.
This is a national story. Everybody knows what's going on. So they're like, okay, we got to get away from San Francisco. So they're like, all right, let's go to LA. So Bill, it was a guy that was in the group. His name was Bill. And he was like, you know, you can still like go home, right? Like, I know that you did this, but like, you still can like rectify. You can still like get in good with, you know, the law. And she was like, no, I'm gonna stay. So she stayed. And so they go to LA and they choose the ghetto. They choose to stay in the ghetto. They found a house that they could just stay there.
Okay.
And so they decided from now on they were going to move in pairs of 3s because, of course, everybody's looking for a group of about 9 people.
There was an even amount of them to do that. Yeah.
So they're in this house and they're like, okay, we need some gear. So Patty, Bill, and Emily, who are all in the SLA, they're like, okay, we're going to go to the store. We're going to get some gear. So this is May 16th, 1974.
Okay. You're just a month later from the
Yes,
bank
just a month
robbery.
later,
Got
yes.
you. Wait, can I ask a question in regards to, so we moved from Sacramento to LA, San Francisco to LA.
Mhm.
We moved to the ghetto. What are we doing exactly? Like, what is our?
We're trying to find out what the fuck.
Okay, because I'm like,
We just
what
on
is
the,
it?
at this point we're just
We're
on the run.
vibing.
We're on the run. We're trying to figure. We're
You know
going.
what?
There's no plan.
I'm not even mad at
There's
Patty
no
because
plan.
she's like, bitch, this is probably better than my boring ass life.
We're gonna
Bitch,
talk
we're
about
just,
that.
We're just vibing because I'm literally like, I'm trying to understand what we're doing. Like, we're moving around. We're gonna get gear. What the fuck are we doing?
We're gonna talk about
I'm
that.
sorry, I'm cutting you off.
You good. So what I say, May 16th, 1974.
Yes.
They're like, okay, we need some gear. We're gonna go
Yes.
to the store. Now, also on this day, one of the vans they had, because they had 3 vans that they were able to purchase with the money that they robbed the bank with. One of the 3 vans, they actually had got a parking ticket from on the street that the house that they were staying in. And I just want you to keep in mind, they took this when Patty, Bill, and Emily went to the store. They took this ticket with them because they was gonna go pay it. So I just want you to keep in mind that they had this ticket with them.
They had the ticket with them. Okay, noted.
So they go to a place called Mel's Sporting Goods, and Emily and Bill, they go in. Patty is in the van.
Yes.
By herself.
Yes.
Keys in the ignition.
Yes.
If Patty wants to leave,
she can dip.
Can she leave?
Oh,
I'm just throwing it out there.
Can she leave?
I'm just throwing it out there. So Bill and Emily, they're in the store, and Bill, it was conflicting accounts of exactly what happened. I don't know. So Bill said that he picked up something and he put it back. Another account said he actually stole it. It was I forgot the name of it, but don't you know where like people who are like soldiers, they'll have like bullets across their chest?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
It was
that
one of
bullets,
those. Yeah, it was one of those. So long story short, him and Emily, they leave. And as they're leaving, one of the employees says, "Hey, like, I gotta stop you.
Yeah.
I saw you pick that up. Like, I need to like
Search
and
you.
frisk you." So Bill got guns on him already. So Bill like, "Oh no, nigga, you not searching me." So Bill tries to leave, and the employee jumps on him. The owner of the store jumps on him. So then Emily tries to jump in, and like somebody walking past like jumps in it. So so Bill and Emily are like literally in the process
tussling
of getting arrested.
Oh shit.
And Patty is in the car. Mind you, people are arguing that like she was being held captive, like she couldn't get away, right?
Okay.
But Patty is in the car, keys ignition, and she looks up, right? At this point, she could leave, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know what she did?
Got out the car.
She picked up a gun, a machine gun that she had in the car, and she just lift that bitch up and start
blasting.
Bitch,
you're lying!
It started blasting.
Who is this bitch?
She started blasting it. So Bill,
at the store.
So Bill and
As a
Emily could get
distraction,
away.
so they can get into the van. Who is this bitch?
So Bill,
she's crazy.
And then she picks up another gun, because the first gun, she ran out of ammo. She picks up another one, let that bitch
still
go.
Aaron. So in the process of getting arrested with police out there,
it wasn't police. It was just the
the store people.
It was just the store people
and
people walking by. Yeah.
Oh, bitch, one, you're crazy as fuck. You're just shooting out.
You
bitch.
could have killed somebody.
You could have killed somebody. Oh, you're crazy.
So
What
Emily
kind of
and
bitch
Bill,
is this?
we're gonna see. So Emily and Bill, they end up getting away, and they get in the car. They get in the van with Patty, and they skirt.
She literally aired that bitch out.
She aired that bitch out. So they skirt off, and then after this, like their van was like a one of those like old like Volkswagen vans.
The scary ones. Yeah, those scary ones. Yeah.
So it was like really slow, and it was like, all right, we gotta ditch this. So they ditched that.
Okay.
They steal a car, and they just go through this cycle of like stealing cars because they trying to get away.
No plan. Just
no plan.
Vibing.
Yeah. So they go through this
Just
cycle
vibing.
of stealing cars or whatever, and they're like, okay, we just got to get out of the area.
Yes.
So remember, the police show up, right? The police show up, and remember,
to the store.
They show up to the store, and of course, eyewitness accounts know the van.
Right.
The police didn't find the van, and remember that parking ticket?
That's parking ticket.
They left the parking ticket in the van, and that parking ticket shows where the house that they were staying in.
Dummy.
So the police go to this area.
Dummy.
By this time, all of this is on the news. So the SLA members who were at the house, they saw this. They were able to leave before the police got there. They left in the middle of the night.
Oh,
but they were like they didn't get that far because they was like scared.
Of course.
Because number one, I just want to keep in mind, they in the ghetto. So it's a whole bunch of black people.
Yeah.
And you got, what we got? 5 white It was 5 white people and then 1 black man. It looks weird.
What the fuck are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing? So they stayed. They were still in the area, but they moved to a different house. So the next day, I'm sorry, I need to look at my notes. I'm just telling you, like, off the dome.
No, but you're doing good. You're doing
Thank
good.
you.
Oh, also, as you're looking at your notes,
Yes.
you were gonna ask me in the end how I feel about her. I'm pro criminal and pro choice.
Okay, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, because I'm like, bitch, this is you airing out the fucking sidewalk, bitch. Are you crazy?
We're gonna get
like
into
it's
it.
not giving held captive. It's giving, bitch. I just wanted a little thrill in my life because I was bored. That's what it's giving. But I still need all the facts.
You do need all the
I need all the facts.
So the next day, the police, they go to the area.
Yes.
And they're asking people, and people will come up to them giving tips and saying like, oh, like we saw him go here and here and here. Long story short, they end up finding the house that they were at. A shootout happens and a fire happens and everybody who was in the house dies. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
A shootout between the police and
The police
group.
and SLA, yeah.
Everybody in LSA died?
Everybody in SLA
Ain't no
died.
fuck. Okay. What?
Everybody in SLA died.
How does that happen?
So from what I read and from what I watched, they just didn't want to surrender.
So wait, this is May?
This is the next day after the shootout that happened.
And on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Then
this is
the next day.
This is the very next day.
Okay, I'm so flabbergasted right now because
I don't think they wanted to. I mean, I guess it's all about perspective.
Oh, 100%.
I don't. From what I read, it just seemed like
just
they
they
didn't want to surrender because, like, even when they came out, because like 2 people came out the house,
and they
came out with guns in their hands, so you're gonna be shot.
Done.
Yeah. So as you know, this is happening, shootout and all of this. Emily, Patty, and Bill, they were able to get to a motel, so they're watching this on the TV.
Damn.
Yeah. And they just like, damn, and they feel, and you know,
they
really
feel fucking
horrible because when you think about it,
it's their fault.
It's their fault.
Oh no, hold up. We gonna circle back. It's Patty's fucking fault because
she let that bitch go. So at this point, they like, okay, what do we do now? So they go
nothing, nigga.
They go back to San Francisco, and they find
they was only in LA for a few days.
No, they were in LA for a month.
I mean, a month.
Yeah.
Yo,
so they go.
Let's go back to our roots.
So they go back to because they didn't really have any connections.
No,
they were a very small group. So they go back to San Francisco, and they ended up finding a friend. Her name was Kathy Celia. I think it's Celia. And they're like, okay, we need help. So Kathy is like, okay, I know somebody. So Kathy had a friend named Jack Scott. Jack Scott was a journalist, and Jack Scott like lived on the East Coast or like had property on the East Coast. It was something to that effect. And basically Jack Scott agreed. He said, hey, I'll take you guys to the East Coast with me, but you cannot bring any weapons. And he had ulterior motives for this. He did this because he wanted to get a book out of it. He wanted to get all the tea. He wanted to tell their story. He wanted to get a book. He didn't say this to them initially, but this is how he felt.
Bitch, I did that too. I like him. All right, Jack.
So they agreed. They said, okay, no weapons. So the way that they transported,
because they're fugitives.
The way that they did this is Patty would ride in the car with Jack and his parents, and then Bill rode with a friend of Jack, and then Emily rode with another friend of Jack. So now,
so this is just 3 cars.
This is 3 cars
driving across the country to the East Coast.
Yes.
All right.
So Patty, just keep in mind, Patty went first. So she was the first person to go. They didn't leave at the same time. Patty went first. So just to keep in mind, as they pull off, right, it said that they was like on the highway, they get off on the exit, and Jack is like, look, Patty, mind you, because he know who she is. Like, he knows she's Patty Hearst. He's like, look, I will take you anywhere you want to go. Like, if you want to go to the police, if you want to go home, like, I'll take you. Like, just, like, you don't have to do this no more. And Patty said, shut the fuck up and get in the car. Start fucking driving.
Who is this bitch?
We gonna see.
Wait a minute. Shut the fuck up
and get in the car.
Oh, this bitch was about. You know what?
So they end up. So after all of them got to the East Coast, they end up staying in a farmhouse in Pennsylvania where Jack is renting it out. Jack and his wife.
Okay.
And
this nigga was a little pressy too.
Who,
like,
Jack?
Yeah, just a little
like,
pressy.
What's T, Jack?
And if
Scott?
I was Jack White, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. All right, this is gonna be a pause. Boop. It's
Yes.
Patty, Bill, and Emily.
Emily.
Jack is there, and his wife is there as well.
Yes.
They're taking care of them or whatever. So
Holding fugitives.
Holding fugitives, right. So there's a woman named Wendy who joins them. She's also a fugitive. This woman named Wendy.
You're a criminal. I'm a criminal. Let's team up together, dude.
So the reason this woman,
So what Wendy did is basically her boyfriend or her lover or something like was convicted of like making a bomb. And so the bombs were like made in her garage. So they wanted her as well. So she was like, fuck that. She ran too.
What used to be up about hella bomb making back in the day, bro? Like, what the fuck
It
was
weird.
that about?
They were wreaking fucking havoc.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I wouldn't. That's something I wouldn't touch, bro. Like
A bomb?
like
Absolutely not.
more so than a gun. Like I feel like I would touch a gun before I touch a bomb.
Because
Like
you have control.
you have control over a gun.
A bomb, one wrong move.
One wrong.
Remember SpongeBob with the pie bomb?
Oh, you mean this pie? I was saving it in my pocket for us to share. Let's eat. Oops.
Bitch, that was not no joke. Like that wasn't a joke. Yeah. What was up with that?
But the way Wendy linked up with them is that she knew Kathy. Remember Kathy?
Kathy was Emily's friend.
Kathy introduced Kathy introduced Jack to Emily and
Emily
all of
and
that,
them.
and that's how they got there. So Kathy put Wendy in touch with them. So Wendy, they all fugitives
Not
and
gonna hold
shit.
you. It's too many hands in this pot.
Too-
I'm sorry. You saying too many names? I ain't feeling it.
So at this point, Jack is trying to get this book written, and Bill is like, you know what? I don't like that. I changed my mind. We're not doing it. And at that point, Jack is like, well, y'all got to dip because I'm spending money.
Either
writing
book
this.
or go.
He was spending his own money.
Of course he
So he was
was.
like, yeah, y'all got to dip.
He done transported fugitives. He said, nah, nigga, we doing this shit. We not doing.
He was like, y'all got to dip. So
You
they
dumbass.
decided to go back to San Francisco to link up with Kathy again.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm still ruling this as dumbass because, like, why did you leave the East Coast and go back to?
They didn't. So the thing is, they didn't know anybody on the East
They didn't know.
Coast. They only had.
But
but
that
they
was
knew
probably
Kathy.
to your advantage.
But they couldn't finesse anything. They couldn't get no money. Everybody knew who they were. They could be arrested at any time. So they went back to the West Coast.
Look, still no plan. That's bothering.
plan.
That's really
No plan.
bothering me. Not smart criminals.
So they go back to the West Coast. They link up with Kathy. And at this point, they like, okay, we need more money.
No shit. Y'all been walking around for 2 months
Yeah.
since that bank robbery.
So they decide to rob another bank.
Oh my god.
And this is, at this point, we're in April of 1975.
So we're a year later.
So we're like a year later, yeah.
Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry. Then I had that line wrong. So you robbed the bank. You got the shot up house. Then y'all was like, oh fuck. What should we do?
Yeah, they were hiding. They were hiding.
They were
about
hiding for a
year.
while.
Yeah.
Then Jack took them across the country.
Mhm.
Then
And
they found
went
their
back.
way back across the country. And now we have circled back to a year.
Yeah.
So she's at least 2021, Patty.
22. She's 21.
She's 21 because she
She's
started
21.
off at 19.
Yeah, going on 20. Yep.
20,
So she's
right.
21.
Okay. Okay. Still a little baby.
Still a baby.
Still a baby. Okay. I'm just still trying to get in these people's minds of what the fuck.
It's
But
what-
alrighty. So we're back to robbing a bank.
So we're back to robbing a bank. So this is April 1975, and they decide to rob the Crocker National Bank. And
Okay.
this is Emily, this is Bill, this is Patty, this is Kathy, and then like Kathy's brother, his name was Steve, and then it's
Not
like
feeling that.
it's other characters.
So
in
they
this.
done rebuilt the group up.
Well, technically, they're not they don't consider themselves the SLA anymore. They're just like working together to do shit.
So SLA died in that house.
SLA died in that house.
Gotcha.
That was it.
Now these is just some fugitives doing shit.
Yeah.
Well, I will give Bill, Emily, and Patty for being tight for about 2 years. So
Yeah.
I give them that.
Yeah. So they robbed this bank, and unfortunately, with this bank robbery, somebody does die.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can I guess?
No, it's like a person.
Oh,
Like
civilian
a
died.
civilian
It's
died.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Somebody like shot him.
Yes.
Damn.
Emily shot somebody on
Emily?
on accident. It was an accident.
Damn, Emily.
Yeah.
That's
So she
fucked
shot
up.
somebody. So at this point, they robbing the banks and they're making bombs and they're doing all of these
Bitch!
things. Yeah.
What? Again,
They're trying to-
what's the plan here?
There's no plan.
We're just doing shit.
It's no
What
plan.
the fuck are you building bombs for?
It's no
My
plan.
God, that's irritating me.
So now let's go over to the FBI. What are they
Please,
doing?
because I'm like, niggas was supposed to be finding freaking Patty ass 2 years ago.
What are the FBI doing? So now the FBI gets a tip from someone that Patty was staying in the farmhouse in Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Who did they get this tip
Jack.
from? Jack's brother, who's an alcoholic. Exactly. Right? That's fucking great. Alcoholic.
Wait a
ass.
minute. Jack's brother. First
Who's
of
an
all,
alcoholic?
Jack, you told your brother you a dumbass. You holding
You told your alcoholic
You told your
brother?
alcoholic brother who's probably mad at the world because he's an alcoholic. Why the fuck would you tell anybody you're holding on fugitives?
Right.
I almost thought she was about to say the wife because I'd be like, good
Nope.
for you, girl.
The wife was down the ride for real.
Dumbass.
But yeah, so they like, okay, they go to the farmhouse and they dusting for fingerprints and all of that, and they find Wendy's fingerprints, the one who came after. Yeah. So they're able to link Wendy to Kathy because they visited the same people in jail. Prior to her being on the run, they visited the same people in jail.
What's T?
Right. So now they're like, okay, who the hell is Kathy? So now
Oh!
Kathy is under investigation.
So Kathy was never under investigation.
Not at first, no. Until they linked Wendy
That's why you gotta
to
burn your
Kathy.
fingerprints, man. You can't have them out there. Shit.
So now Kathy is under investigation, and they like, all right.
They building a case on her ass.
They like, all right, we gotta find Kathy. So they end up doing investigation. They find Kathy. They're doing surveillance on Kathy, and Kathy ends up leading them to Bill and Emily.
I knew it.
And then Bill and Emily leads them to
fucking
Patty
Patty.
and Wendy.
Damn.
So, and just to keep this in mind, at this point, Bill and Emily and Patty and Wendy, they get arrested. And Kathy and her little crew, they was able to scat. They was able to get out of there.
Kathy got out?
Kathy was able to get out of there.
Stop.
So at this point, they're arrested. This is now August of 1975.
Okay, so just a few months after they got back.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
And yeah, that's about 19 months of from when she was abducted.
When she was abducted.
Yeah. Right. So now we're gonna go on to the trial.
Yay.
So just for thank you so much. So hot. So just to keep in mind, Patty was dating. Actually,
she had a fiance.
let me not get into that yet.
Bitch, so what's
Let me not get into
that?
that.
She was dating who? She had a
Let's not get
fiance.
into that. So when Patty was arrested, she was like, yeah, I'm still with the cause and shit like that, right? Like she was still down with the cause and all of
I
that.
hate a oppressed white woman.
Yeah.
I really hate it.
But then slowly but surely, she was talking to therapists, psychiatrists, and she stopped talking all the shit that she was talking.
No shit. Sitting in that jail cell probably fucked you up, dumbass.
So her defense was, that she was brainwashed. Now, as someone who knows the law,
Just a smidge.
they can't use the word brainwash. The specific phrase is
Yeah, that's not a medical
coercive.
term. Yeah.
It's coercive persuasion or something like that.
Nice.
And so that was her, that was her defense. And as she's on trial, she recounts everything that happened to her when she was
Kidnapping
captive.
the big, yeah.
Now we're going to talk about some things. There are going to be some trigger warnings and things of such. A lot of the things I spoke about in the beginning were fact, and then some of it was I don't want to say fiction,
Your
but
interpretation.
not even my interpretation, just other people's accounts.
Gotcha.
But going forward is gonna be a lot of that, and that's what this story that's why so much controversy, because we do have the facts, and then we have the accounts of Patty, and then we got the accounts of Bill and Emily, and we see where they start to differ.
Oh, of course. I can only imagine.
So let's go to when she
So
was.
whose perspective will we start with first?
We're gonna start with Patty's first.
Gotcha.
So Patty alleged that she was tortured, abused, and R-word.
Wow.
So she said she claimed she was R-word by 2 of the SLA members.
Oh my
right?
gosh, no.
Now Bill and Emily counteract this. Bill and Emily say that she was actually in a relationship with one of the SLA members, and the other person that she said R-word her did not do that.
Oh my gosh.
Now, the question that people have is could she even be in a relationship because of the power dynamic, because she was held captive?
Exactly.
Right? That is a question. However, what ended up coming out is Patty had this charm that she was that was found on her when she was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who she was in love with, they said she was in love with in the SLA, he died in the fire. when his body was found, he had a necklace with the same charm.
Ooh.
And Emily and Bill said that when they decided to be together, he gave her that and was like, as a token of his love.
Yeah.
So the question became, if this person R-worded you, why are you keeping this
gosh.
token of love? Because that doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't.
So people was like, Patty, can we trust you?
I mean, I'm not a psychologist and I've never studied R-word victims, but I mean, unless what was happened during the so-called torture and the captivity, that it kind of like messed her up so badly that her mindset maybe merged to believe that he was her lover, and like maybe that power dynamic maybe messed her up.
So
we're
gonna get into this at the very end because it's very
wow. Okay.
So she ends up being called on the stand.
Okay.
Terrible idea, but she gets called, like, she testified on her own behalf, and if you testify on your own behalf, you're not supposed to be able to plead the fifth because you chose to testify.
Right.
And when the prosecution gets to cross-examining her, she rejected, what was it? 42 times she decided not to answer a question. So they was like,
I was like, you have some questions? Do you?
I don't have the question.
Oh well, not every question, of course, but do you remember?
Some of them was like, well, have you ever seen this document? And it was like, I refuse to answer. Have you da-da-da? I refuse to answer 42 times, and that number is a fact.
Wow, that's a fair amount of questions to say. Oh no, I refuse to answer. Yeah. Damn.
So just to be specific, this specific trial was about the bank robbery.
Which one?
The first one.
Oh,
when she was in that bitch like this. When she was in that bitch.
You know what? That was probably good.
What? The defense?
On that one, because again, when just going back to what you were saying, she was showing herself on camera like, oh yeah, I'm this big dog. Like, I'm not being forced to do this. Now
she's trying to spin the band, right? So now they're saying, and she was brainwashed.
That's what I'm saying. When you started off, when you were talking about the trial and stuff, and you were saying she was taking the defense of being brainwashed, it obviously counteracts her actions in a sense, because it's just like, well, this video here shows that you miss big bitch. So which one is it?
Right, you were talking big shit.
Now
you're not talking big shit.
Now you're all like, I don't know what I was doing. I can't.
Exactly. So
I can't wait to be an attorney in court. I'd be like, you sure, Buki? Because this video right here show.
So she claims that that she would be killed for not participating and that she was in fear for her life.
It's a very great defense.
Now, let's rewind, because let's go back to the multiple attempts where she could have escaped. Number one, she said that they gave her the option to escape or to leave, and she chose to stay. She said this out of her own mouth. Number two, the whole shootout shit, when they were getting arrested, you could have
sped the fuck off.
Could have S off, right? Number three, I didn't mention this, but I'm going to mention it now. So when they took her to the East Coast, remember when I said they took her first? They first stopped in New York.
Yes.
And she was in like an apartment with them. And it was just her and the wife. So the wife would leave out like to get things, and she would be by herself. So she could have left. On top of that, when they came back from the East Coast to the West Coast, so Jack is the one who brought her back to the West Coast.
Wait. That nigga.
I think he had a thing for Patty because he kept doing shit for her. Wait a minute.
This nigga is accessory to all this shit, because not only did you bring her to the East Coast, you brought her back. You know, and you didn't say who brought her back.
Yeah.
What? So who is this nigga Jack?
So Jack brought her back to the West Coast, but he told her, he said, I'm only going to take you as far as Las Vegas. I'm not going to take you to California.
What difference that make, nigga? That's what, a 5-hour difference?
I don't know.
Dumbass.
So he took her to Vegas, but when he took her to Vegas, they actually got pulled over. So she could have said, hey, she didn't have any weapons. She could have said, hey, I'm Patty Hearst. I'm turning myself in. And then when they finally got to the motel, she was alone in the motel for 2 days. She could have left. She could have left. So the prosecution is like, she could have left. Nobody had a gun to her head. The SLA was dead.
Right. So at this point, you just vibing.
You're just vibing. SLA is dead. It's not.
You have no more purpose anymore.
There's no big organization. Nobody's watching you.
Bill wasn't with you.
Emily wasn't with you. Y'all don't have no money. They don't have no guns because Jack made them give the guns up. Yep.
But you know,
But you was so-called horse still, right? Jack wasn't nobody but a fucking writer. What the fuck he was gonna do?
exactly.
Girl, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this.
So how did this trial end? She was convicted. She was sentenced to 7 years in prison for this felony.
Now, was she convicted as like, what do they put you as? Not the ringleader, but like, was she seen as like the organizer of all of this? Do you know her counts?
Robbery and use of a firearm to commit a felony.
Damn.
Those were the counts.
That's fucked up.
So at this point, she's like, okay, I'm going to file an appeal. Something that the judge did, right? And we're going to talk about privilege at the end.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because when you said appeal, I already knew where this was going. Because I'm like, appeals are such a hit or miss for me. Because I'm like, there's no real reason to do that. Like the facts are there. The facts are there.
Just keep it, baby.
Just keep it. Like
take it out.
Just take the L. The facts are there. You did the crime. Do your time. But go ahead.
So she does her appeal, and she was actually allowed to be released on bail during her appeal.
Wow.
So she at home chilling.
Wait, back home with her mama?
Yeah. She's on bail while her appeal is going through. Whatever. She's trying to get her appeal to go through. And then another thing, the judge,
privilege, bitch.
A condition of her bail was that she had to be assigned a police officer to protect her. This was via the judge.
Can you put some question marks on my head? Because I'm just like, what the fuck? Wait, she need protection from who, bitch? You know what? So while you out on bail, while your case is...
Oh, Emily and what's his name? Bill.
They locked up. Of course.
They locked up. So
privilege. They was white too, right?
Yeah, they was white. The only black man, he died.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's because that money. It's a difference of white. It's white and
we're gonna talk about it.
And then it's white with money.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So eventually they was like, fuck your appeal. You going to jail. So
wait, how long was she out?
I don't know.
Fuck your appeal. Get your ass back in that room.
It was for a little bit, but she had to go back to jail. She had to go to jail. So they sent her to jail. And at this point, they are looking at the charges for the sporting goods shootout.
Yeah, the fucking clear out on the fucking block.
So for that, she was looking at 15 years to life.
Damn, bitch.
You know what she ended up getting for that?
2 years. Few months.
5 years probation.
Probation?
She got 5 years
probation.
She
ain't sit in jail for that? Oh, yes.
So while she's in jail and
she served them full 7 years?
While she's in jail, she's like, okay, she has the ability to do interviews, so she's doing interviews.
This bitch on a press tour.
She could do, I think it was something like she could do 2 interviews a month or something. So she's doing interviews. She's using her family's privilege of the media to talk to, you know
who that remind me of?
Push propaganda.
That white bitch that just got out.
Oh, we're going to talk about it. And they had...
Why he was on... How you a criminal on Good Morning America? Bitch, I'm not playing.
We're going to talk about it.
How you a criminal on Good Morning...
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So... And then they're using politicians to try to, sway things her way.
Girl.
So
I've never heard of this shit.
In 1979, the president, Jimmy Carter, commutes her sentence. At this point, she served about 2 years in prison.
That's it? And not even fully because the bitch was out in the world living her best life on interviews.
So Patty gets out after 2 years. Bill and Emily did 6 years. They did the whole 6.
Damn.
They did the whole 6.
No early release, no nothing. They said that's fucked up.
So in 1988, she puts out an autobiography.
Bitch! That's every criminal's favorite thing to do. Nobody wants to know your story, bitch.
She's starring in movies.
She in movies.
She gets her own movie, like about her whole situation.
I'm
so
serious. This bitch was
on. I think it's called Hearst. I think that's what the movie's called. Who popped up?
Wait. Wow, talk about privilege.
And let's talk about one last thing. So in 1999, Kathy, remember Kathy, who was on the run? So Kathy,
from her own situation.
Yeah. So at this point, it's 1999. Kathy been on the run for like 20 years at this point.
Damn.
Because remember, this shit had been in like 75.
Ooh, Y2K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she in 99, but she's found. She was living in Minnesota under a whole nother name, and they find her, right?
How they find her ass?
America's Most Wanted posted
On the remember that? Remember it used to come on TV and somebody pointed her out and they found it was her, right?
No,
Yeah.
I remember that was a thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it still a big thing? America's Most Wanted, like people like.
It is.
Oh, okay.
I saw something about it on TikTok because this girl, her father was on there and she was like catching his ass. We can talk about that. We can talk about that after.
That's funny.
But so they found Kathy and they're charging Kathy with the second bank robbery. The second bank robbery, the one where somebody died.
That got that because Kathy supposedly
Emily did it, but Kathy, they all was involved.
They was all involved.
So now Kathy, right? Remember, Emily and Bill had already did their time. So now they get Emily and Bill again. They like, no, y'all gotta come back.
We're
y'all gotta
circling
come
back
because now we gotta charge y'all for this, right?
Fuck.
Right.
Wait, and this is the one that Patty got 5 months probation.
No, Patty got 5-month probation for the shootout.
The shootout on the sidewalk. Sorry, I'm getting all the crimes
it's okay.
mixed
It's
up.
okay. It's so many, right? It's so fucking many. So
we're back to the second bank robbery.
But the second big robbery, and this is 1999. Everybody's pretty old now.
Yeah, of course.
And guess who didn't get rounded up with everybody? Patty. It was also reported that the family of the woman who was killed. Yep. They took a settlement
from Patty's family.
Yep. So Bill and Emily, they ended up doing about, what was it? I think it was about 5 to 6 years.
Again. Okay. I see why she had the police escort, bitch, because if I was Bill or fucking Emily, I would have had a hit out on her ass.
And in 2001, Bill Clinton pardoned Patty Hearst. So if you don't know what pardon means, that means her record was wiped clean. This shit never happened.
Okay, you actually really got me there.
That's
with
the first time I got you speechless.
You got me. I didn't expect a pardon.
And that is the story of Patty Hearst. But yeah, she did movies. She did a lot of interviews and different things like that.
And you said she's still living.
She's still living. She's in her.
She can't be that old. You said she
now.
was 20. She said she was 19 in her 70s. So she's a little old. Yeah.
She's in her 70s now, I believe. But yeah, that's the story of Patty Hearst.
Feedback.
I guess let me just ask you some questions.
Yes, please.
Right?
To get
so
to
first,
pique my mind.
After I guess what I was trying to come to the conclusion of is like, okay, was she a victim, right? Like, of course she was a victim when she was kidnapped.
Yes.
But through the whole ordeal, was she a victim? Did she become a conspirator? How do I feel about it?
Okay.
Now, me personally, I feel as though I can't definitively stand on either side right now.
Okay.
Because I can't negate like her experience. Like she was kidnapped. Like I'm pretty sure she was fucking terrified.
Absolutely.
Especially the only thing she knew about this group is that they killed like a superintendent of a school. But it's like, okay, I feel like she was mad at her parents, right? She's 19, 20. How the fuck did you feel about your parents at 19,
rebellious. Definitely didn't care for them.
She's
like
angry.
And
she's like, she already thinks that her dad like didn't give a fuck about her, like wasn't willing to pay the money or whatever, right? And so, what better way to show your ass than be like, I'm gonna join them and what the fuck they doing? I think part of it was rebellion, maybe. Part of it was, like you said before, I'm sick of my boring white girl, rich, sheltered life.
I mean, what?
And her life literally changed.
In an instant.
If nothing was planned, nothing led up to it. It was like this. I have a whole new life. Now my name Tanya. I'm robbing banks. I'm having sex.
I'm traveling the world as a fugitive.
Something I want to throw in the SLA, they would have
orgies.
Not orgies, but they didn't believe in like monogamy, so they were all like
they're all fucking each other.
They're all fucking each other.
Like, not only are we fucking, but we are criminals together. So we in this shit for life. How much you want to bet blood packs were going on in that bitch? Disgusting. Ew. Yeah.
But yeah, so I really don't know how I feel. Because it's also like she was dating the guy Will.
Yeah.
And after he died, I'm sorry I didn't mention this. After all of them died, they released the tape, Emily, Bill, and Patty. Once again, this is just Patty talking.
Okay.
And Patty is doing like eulogies for each of them. And when it gets to the guy Will that she was in a relationship with, she's like, he was the most beautiful man. We shared a deep love and all these different things.
TMI.
You can go listen to these tapes. So it's really hard for me to choose. I really want to lean on the side of she was an actor and she was acting, and when she got in these roles, she just kind of did what she wanted to do in the ways that would best serve her. So she was like, oh, I'm gonna go fuck with them. They robbing banks, I'm living this life. And then when she got arrested, she was like, all right, let me stop playing. Let me get back to who I really am. Let me get back to this shit. And she really got in her bag.
I do like that perspective of an actor. That's an interesting take.
Because I told you, she goes on to be in actual movies.
Yeah.
So
Like she actually did that shit.
Yeah. So tell me how you feel. What do you think?
The white privilege bullshit is really, it's like, you know how you
Rich white
privilege. Like I feel like that's a different level of privilege. Like everybody experienced privilege in their own way as a white person, but rich white is like completely different. The freaking president at the time giving you a pardon, like you specifically, that's like a whole kind of a level
like,
of just like he said your name.
You got to commute from one president and you got to pardon from the next.
Like, bitch, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? So, but just speaking on the facts of the situation, I think in the beginning, it is very unfortunate when she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And I do believe that whatever kind of torture things happened to her probably did happen. Even as to the extreme of the R word, probably. I mean, I wouldn't really put it past the situation. But something in me feels like things took a turn once it was given to her as a choice saying like you want to stay or not. And then I feel like once she made the decision to stay, things became whatever their normal was. Because like you're saying, like, you know, everybody was involved with each other. Obviously relationships were going on with different people. They obviously had some kind of trauma bond too, because again, we're doing crime where, first of all, we started off on the basis of kidnapping. So in a sense, we have some kind of relation, I guess. And then we're robbing banks. I'm shooting out the block for you to, like, that's some kind of relation in a sense. That's a bond there. Like, and in a sense, it's some kind of trust, because it's like, you were saying Patty, what was the guy name? Bill and Emily. You say their three names like a lot of times. So they have some kind of relation. And then nobody ran out anybody. Like, they got caught. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like over time, and that's a weird 19 months over time, that bonds were formed and whatnot. Then I also think throughout the experience, as I was saying, I feel like the thrill, not being caught, two, and just being able to maneuver how she wanted. Because again, that opportunity, even with that journalist Jack, she probably was like, we can take this shit somewhere else. Like, we don't even got to stay here. And then to even have the privilege to come back. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
And that's heavy on the privilege, right? Because as I was thinking about it, and obviously, you know, I don't come from money. Like, very much working class family, right?
Yeah.
If I can only think, if that happened to me, it's like, oh, there is no room to become a criminal. Like, you get the option to leave, you leave. So I feel like, as far as privilege, there was something in the back of her head of like, I'm gonna be straight regardless. Mommy and daddy got me regardless. But even if she was mad or whatever.
Girl, when you said she was on bail and she was back at parents' house, I said, that's all the way the fuck she was at. Her mother's house. What are you talking about? Like, bitch, you been gone for like 19 months and you just strolling in. Hey, ma, hey, dad. Yeah, what's up? Bitch, what? Like, again, being a criminal is not even an option for me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, doing something crazy like that.
It's not an option for us.
It's not, not even, right. It's not even just about Zai. Us. It's not an option to be like, oh, I can go out and do that and then come home and go back to my normal life. That's not an option. And I feel that she knew that. She knew that from the jump. I feel like, again, like I said, it's unfortunate that she got kidnapped in the beginning, but I just feel like she took that opportunity and was like, let me see if I can like make some shit shake. Like, I'm just bored. Let me see if I can like switch up my life a little bit. And then she probably was, I don't know. Did it ever say like if she was in there running some shit? Like if she took charge of
it? Didn't say that, but I watched a documentary and I read a book. The book is called American Heiress, if you guys want to check it out. But the documentary is called The Radical Life of Patty Hearst. No, The Radical Story of Patty Hearst, I'm sorry. And she decided not to partake in it. For obvious reasons. But Bill is in it. Bill is in it and he talking his shit. And he was like, he was like, you know, he just said she was super passionate, and he said that, you know, he feels like that she kind of bamboozled them, like, and like she put on an act for them, and like being this Tanya character, like, because he said like when she like, you know, let it go out the window, he said like she saved his life, and like from then on, like he just was like, damn, like I really appreciate you for that.
Wow.
So
they kidnapped the right bitch, obviously. 'Cause it's like, you didn't know who the fuck you was kidnapping. You just thought you was kidnapping some white rich girl.
Mhm.
Turns out this was the thrill she needed. And also just circling back to Emily and Bill serving basically almost like 11 years in jail.
in total,
In
yeah.
total.
And they were pissed. They were mad.
And then like her getting 2 years, and again, I'm not even counting it as a full 2 years sitting in your cell.
She only got 2. She got 2 years for the bank, for
She
the
got
first
2
bank robbery.
and then 5 years probation.
5 years probation, and then for the
Completely
second
pardoned.
bank robbery,
Complete, like no charges at all.
They didn't even reach out to try to. Yeah.
And probation is bullshit because bitch, you get to still live your life.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's crazy. Do we know what she's up to now, Miss Patty?
She like raised dogs or some shit.
Oh, wow.
She got some kids. She
got
raised
kids
dogs.
and shit. Okay, is she married? You know,
Her husband died. Her husband was actually the police officer that was assigned to her. Remember I said the judge
you did say that.
that actually became her husband, and she took him from his wife because he was married at the time. She said, "Snatch these bitch."
Give me him. I'd like to meet this Patty. I'd like to sit down with Patty because what's going on through your mind? Like, you just got a fucked up. Like, you're kind of fucked up, but
Yeah, Patty is a very interesting character, but
Yeah.
a lot of people are.
so okay. I guess the question, like you said, do you think she's victim? Do you think she's
Victim turned villain.
victim turned villain? Do you think she was a villain the whole time? If you could choose one, what do you think she is?
I think she was a victim turned villain
Got you.
because it's just, you know. And then when you talk about was it Stockholm syndrome?
Yes.
I looked it up.
Stockholm
Only-
syndrome is like when you take on the
It's when you have sympathy or empathy for your captors, and sometimes you might take on their ideas or beliefs, right? But what I looked up, only 8% of people who are hostages or something like that experience Stockholm syndrome. That's number
Oh.
one. And number two, when you think about the time frame, because if y'all don't know, I'm like a true crime fanatic. So I know a couple cases where like people had Stockholm syndrome, but like the their experience was like way worse, or they was like with this person for way longer, or experience like the torture and abuse was like really bad. So it's like it just happened over time. But she was literally with them for 50 days.
That's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
started busting out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like.
That is a short amount of time to be like, I'm completely different, and now I'm radicalized,
Girl,
and now I'm shooting shit up.
that's not even 90 days like a probation, bitch. Like you, like that's why I
A
kept.
probationary period.
It's longer.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like. That's why I kept touching on
that
this.
shit 180 days.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I kept touching on dates because I'm like, hold on. How did we get to shooting out the block? Because I thought you just joined this shit.
Exactly.
I thought you just joined this shit, and now you got the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Or look, maybe you just exuding it because it was already there. That's why I'm kind of just like to have sympathy. Well, is it empathy?
Sympathy, empathy, yeah.
To have that for you, I'm a little hesitant. I feel like in the
initial
initial
kidnapping.
part, yes, I'm like that's fucked up. Not excusing that,
Yeah.
but I just feel like that kind of transition period was kind of quick because you just like, nah, fuck with this. Like I'm actually gonna stick
I'm
with
outside.
this. I'm outside.
I'm outside.
I find my group of people. Like I find my crew, and this is it. And I'm just, and then you're stuck with them. Like it wasn't like
through thick and thin.
and then it's not like you was like, well, hold on, I am that bitch. I'm about to go do my own shit. No, bitch, you
stuck with
went
them.
across the country and came back. Like
You could have
that's
left
what,
at any point.
but you stuck it out, and that's why I'm like, the bond had to be there, bro. Like it had to be. I don't know. I think my choice. I'm gonna say I think she was a villain this whole time. I feel like whatever trauma happened to her in the beginning probably like sparked that kind of villain that was always there.
Mhm.
She, again, it seemed like she had a fairly normal rich person life in school, engaged, just doing whatever. But I feel like just from, the story,
Mhm.
it just seemed like she just needed that one little situation to happen to her to be her true self. And that's kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's like, Damn, all it took was to get kidnapped for you to be this kind of look. And then what's kind of pissing me off is her in life now, or her in game right now, she's just a regular person. Now.
She's a regular person.
After
white picket fence.
Just a white picket fence,
If anything,
dogs.
If anything, the kidnapping amplified her because she got the book deal. She got the movie deal. She starred in movies and like she was an actress. She been on red carpet.
Like what?
Yeah.
And again, touching back to that white bitch that just got released.
Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, bitch.
That's the privilege. That is the privilege.
And let me tell you, I watched one interview, but I didn't give that bitch no fucking credit. Because, bitch, you're a killer at the end of the day.
You're a killer.
Fuck that.
Yep.
Fuck all that. How are you now? How do you feel? Bitch, whether you actually put the fucking gun to your mama or you conspired it, bitch, you're a killer. So I'm like, fuck all that. Oh, good for her. She out. Freedom ring. Fuck that.
But that just show you how far white.
Hell.
And she don't even have money.
No, she don't.
But white
women. I'm telling you, because I watched the Good Morning America because I just wanted to see.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything because I was like, this is ridiculous.
I watched it and I was like, this is so fucking stupid. And I be hating when they give any criminal a freaking interview. Bitch, I don't care. I don't care what your next plans are. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't think she deserves that.
None of that. No, absolutely not.
But yeah, y'all, thanks for tuning in.
Hell yeah, that was a good story. That was good, sis.
You.
That was really good.
Like I said, I read the book American Heiress. So if you really want to do like a super, super, super deep dive, you should read the book because the book is like really like we really get deep.
Where did you get the book from?
I got the book from the library.
Oh, okay.
Got the book from the library.
Support your public library.
Support your public library because they're trying to close it because they want us to be stupid. So support your library.
Support your library.
Enoch Pratt, shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
But yeah. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. We once again appreciate y'all for watching every week. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, all of these things.
All those things.
So thank you.
And we're not going to do that. We're not ending on a Jamaican accent at all. And as always, please fill out our suggestion box.
Yeah, we have a suggestion box in the link tree.
Make
sure you subscribe to Zai's channel.
Thanks, guys. Yes.
And bye.
We'll see you next episode.
Boom.